various positions as a wildlife manager and also in my current job. And finding ways to get things done. Sometimes when you're working on an HPC project or you're working with different land management entities, you have disagreements, and being able to work with those different entities and find common ground and be able to get things done on the ground, I think is very, very important. So I think that's a big attribute that I bring to this, is just being able to talk to people and being able to solve a problem.
Great, thank you.
Along that same line, the Game and Fish Commission is made up of 5 commissioners, and it's a policy setting body that hires a director. We're interviewing 3 potential candidates for the next for the open seat on the commission. What is it that separates you from the others, that makes you the best candidate, and what are you going to bring to the commission that will be a great addition to the commission?
So I can't speak for the other candidates. I don't know the other candidates. I can tell you what I can bring, and what my strengths are. And I think what makes me a unique candidate is having a history of science and a history of ecology. Having an understanding of how the environment works, having an understanding of how to get things done, having an understanding of government. I think that's a big attribute. But I also think that my work as an entrepreneur and a problem solver, and being able to have a forward thought process, and being able to bridge all that together, I think that's what gives me the biggest strength of moving forward.
Mr. Caputo, the state of Arizona has a process in which the public may place legislative measures on the ballot to be voted on during general elections. What are your thoughts on the use of this voter initiative process as it might pertain to managing wildlife?
That's dangerous. I think that, again, we saw with the trail camera that if we're not, if their perception is that we're not staying on top of things such as technology and fair chase issues, that that big group in the middle, our zone of opportunity, Group B, is going to take action, and they're the ones who's going to make the decision at the voting box, right? So I think to get ahead of that and to front load that group of in B is we need to make sure that we have good education efforts. We need to make sure that we're relevant. We need to make sure that they understand what the Game and Fish Department does and why we do it, so that if something does go to the ballot box, that they have a little bit more knowledge and a little bit more education on how to vote for that. So, it's definitely something that we can't be reactive when it comes to, the legislative ballot box potential. We have to make sure that we're proactive and we stay on top of it.
Thank you.
Fair chase, along with the North American model of wildlife conservation, should be the 2 backbones of hunting in our nation and state. Tell us why this statement is accurate and your views on the 2 items, fair chase and North American model.
I think the North American model is the premise of what the commission is, right? So we have the liaison between the public and the department. This is where we're entrusted, wildlife is a public trust. This is where we're entrusted to make decisions that are going to be both beneficial to wildlife and to the social aspects of our constituents. Fair chase is extremely important, and this is part of the social management stuff I touched on earlier. This, again, that Group B in the middle, that zone of opportunity, they're the ones that are most sensitive to fair chase. And if we don't stay on top of technology, if we don't stay on top of issues that can be perceived as giving the unfair advantage to the hunter over the wildlife, then we're going to lose people in Group B into that Group C, and we don't want to go downhill. So I think it's very, very important that we focus a lot of our efforts on fair chase and educating our Group A about fair chase and kind of opening our eyes a little bit to what's ethical and what should be done. I think one of the concerns right now with the hunting population is that there's a lot of bickering within Group A, right? So we need to be able to find ways as an agency, as a commission, we need to be able to find ways to get Group A all on the same page so we have a stronger voice. So fair chase is very, very important in a conservation wildlife model. I mean, that's the backbone of why we're here. You know, I mean, that's what we're dealing with. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Caputo. That concludes our questioning. Thank you for coming again.
Well, again, thank you for this opportunity. So.
Would the board like to hear the candidate make a closing statement?
Yeah.
Well, I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of motivation. I have a lot of passion to be here, right? So again, I hope that this interview, I hope that you felt that I was transparent. I hope that you felt that you have a good idea of my skill sets, of how I can be a benefit to this commission. And again, I appreciate your time, and I appreciate, I know that all of you guys are volunteering to be here as well. And that speaks volumes for why you're here as well. So again, we have that common ground, we have that common motivation. So thank you guys for being here as well.
Thank you. Our next interviewee is Clay Hernandez.